The Philadelphia Eagles ended up signing defensive end Bryce Huff, who most recently played with the Jets, and I absolutely love this pickup. Huff is one of those guys that has a massive ceiling. He's a guy that's going to get so much better, and he's a guy that's had a tremendous amount of success the past couple of seasons. And when you guys watch this guy's tape, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. The pass rush technique that Huff has, it's absolutely special. The way this guy moves, the way this guy wins at the point of attack, it is top tier stuff. And here's a great example of some of what you would see with a guy like Huff. I mean, look at how he moves within this one. Look at how he fakes out this left tackle. This is just a beautiful job. I mean, this is so damn unique right here by Huff to be able to get the left hand up there in some sort of ghost move, jumps to the outside, dips past the left tackle, just goes right underneath him, ultimately ends up getting to the quarterback for a 8-yard sack. I mean, this is absolutely beautiful if you guys ask me. Very, very fired up to get into the Huff film breakdown. Let's just jump right into it. Alrighty guys, so as I've mentioned, one of the things that you're going to see with Bryce Huff is he has a lot of different pass rush techniques that he's perfected. Here's one right here where he's going to beat the right tackle. This is called a cross chop, and he sets it up perfectly. Again, Huff, in my opinion, is a very smart football player. He's not the most athletic player out there. He does have okay bend. He has okay twitch. But the guy really makes his money from just being smart. And you see it on plays like this where he's going to set up this offensive tackle to the inside. So you guys look at how he kind of attacks the right tackle. He's almost making it seem like he's going to go to the inside before he jabs hard with the right foot, jumps to the outside, and cross chops, which means his inside hand is going to hit the outside hand of the tackle. And as he cross chops, he's going to end up beating the tackle when he gets the corner. The tackle's not able to recover, and he's going to eventually get to the quarterback and take the quarterback down. That's a great job to be able to utilize the cross chop move. This is one of the moves you're going to see this guy use a ton. And it's definitely effective. It definitely works for him. But he has more moves than just the cross chop. Take this next play as an example. He's going to be going up against right tackle Terrence Steele. And on this one, he's going to just straight up swim right over the top of Steele. He's going to really just use the speed. He's going to change direction within this play. And he's going to get a hit on Dak Prescott. Just a really, really nice job here by Huff. Again, you see him really set this one up. Changes direction once again. Right hand's going to land on the left shoulder pad. Left hand's going to come right over the top. Just a great job here by Bryce Huff to be able to beat Steele. Super quick, super explosive. Of course, he gets a really nice hit on Dak Prescott. Let's go ahead and get to the next snap. Another way that Bryce Huff wins is using his power. He has a pretty good bull rush move. He definitely, if he's playing in the wide 9, is able to really get that runway. He's really able to use his power that he does have. He plays pretty low when he makes contact with guys. On this one here, he uses the power and just kind of goes through the left tackle here. Ultimately ends up getting the quarterback, who kind of just runs into the sack. But regardless, you definitely saw that pressure was coming off that left edge. So again, pretty nice job right there by Huff to be able to get to the quarterback. But another thing you'll notice with Huff is the guy plays with super, super high effort. And a lot of his sacks actually come because the guy just doesn't give up on plays. Play in, play out, he's constantly running down quarterbacks. He's constantly getting in there, trying to make sure the quarterback comes down. He's oftentimes doing his job. And that motor that he plays with oftentimes leads him to getting to the quarterback. So again, one of the things he'll bring to the Eagles is that motor. It's the relentlessness, after, just going after the quarterback, play in, play out. And it is one of the things you'll notice on tape with Huff. I want to just continue to talk a little bit about this guy's pass rush. The efforts there, the hand-to-hand pass rush techniques there. Huff definitely uses his quickness to be able to beat guys, and you definitely see that this guy still has a pretty high ceiling. I think he has so much more in terms of where he's at now versus where he'll be at in a couple years. He's still fairly young, right? He's only 25 years old at the moment, so Huff can absolutely continue to develop into a really, really good football player. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about his run defense, but I do want to just make it known that Huff's go-to move when it comes to pass rush is the cross chop. That is the one move he loves to do. You will also see him use his body and try to beat guys with different movement skills that he's kind of been able to perfect. We saw the play earlier against the Patriots where he kind of just dipped right past the tackle. You see moves like that as well, that he's able to kind of just get by people. But again, the cross chop is his go-to move. Here he's going to use it again, this time against the backup tackle. Once again, just going to straight up cross chop, win, and he's going to get to the quarterback on this one. Again, it is his go-to move. The cross chop's one of those moves that Bryce Huff has perfected. But again, another thing he does is he does use his body a ton. He gets very twitchy at times. Here's an example of that here. You're going to see Huff change directions. He's going to really start with the speed move on this one. Change direction, come back to the inside, rip, and he's going to get to the quarterback. And because he gets that pressure, the quarterback throws an interception. Ends up being a pick six, as you guys can see. But again, I like the fact that Huff doesn't always do things by the book, right? He definitely tries to win in different ways, and you see him be able to have success. This play here also sticks out to me against the Raiders. He's going to beat the left tackle of the Raiders, Jermaine Illuminor, on this one. You see him kind of just get right past him. He dips. He uses the movement that he's shown us that he can win with. And then within that, he's going to dip. And he's going to be able to get past the left tackle on this one. And he ends up just losing his balance. He does hit the quarterback a little low. But again, it's still a winning rep if you guys ask me. And lastly, before we get into his run defense, do understand that Bryce Huff only played about 480 snaps this past season. The guy was not a full-time starter. And with the Eagles, he may be the full-time starting defensive end. He may be the guy that's going to be playing snap in, snap out. And only being 25 years old, the upside's through the roof for Bryce Huff. Now, he's not the best run defender. I think you have to continue to develop in that part of his game. But I think he did take strides this season. We had plays like this where he was able to get off the block and ultimately make the play. This one was a loss of 4 yards. But do note that Huff does have to continue to develop in this aspect of his game, but that doesn't mean he didn't make plays. You'll see a ton of plays where he does his job. He's able to get past the blocker. He does things that you're going to want him to do. Right on this one here, he does a great job running a run stunt with the defensive tackle. He ends up just straight up getting right to the inside and making the play on Devon Achane on this one. Here's another one. He's going to do a great job recognizing the draw. They're running a game between him and the D tackle. And he ends up being able to just chase it down and bring it down. This is more of an effort play, in my opinion, than an actual being able to just straight up blow a play up. But again, if it works, it works. And again, I think there's still a lot of developing that Bryce Huff will continue to do. Right? As long as this guy continues to play with effort, as long as he continues to get stronger, and he just continues to want to win, the upside is there with Bryce Huff. Here's a play where he does a great job getting underneath the down block of Michael Gallup. He's going to get underneath the block, and he basically blows this entire play up. This one ended up losing over 4 yards. It's just a really, really nice job by Huff. So one of the things you will know with Bryce Huff is he is a smart football player, and that translates into both pass rush and run defense success. Now, you'll see here he's going to do a great job understanding the situation. He understands what the tight end does within this play. You guys can look at the tight end that he's kind of lined up over here. He's going to end up wham blocking this to the right. So what that means for Huff is that the play is going to go towards that side. So he understands that the tackle here is blocking him outwards. And on this one specifically, he's able to get off the block. And he does recognize the play, and he does blow this play up for a gain of no yards. It's a pretty good job right there. Here's another one. Huff understands the situation. The running back's over here to the left. If you guys watch the tight end, he's going to block downwards towards the right. It's a zone run to the right. And Huff does a good job just fighting through it, right? He understands the situation. He understands what the tight end's most likely going to do. He does a good job mirroring it. He gets off the block of the tight end, and he's able to blow this play up. So that's a pretty good job right there. Now, I do also want to go ahead and switch focus and get into some of his run defense that I think he needs to continue to improve on. One of them is going to be to get stronger and be able to make plays when offensive linemen are pulling towards you. You know, it's one thing to be able to just set up and take a block on, and it's a completely different thing to be able to go through that block, to really set that offensive lineman and kind of have him going backwards. And maybe it's you get around the block in a different way. But one of the interesting things with this play is you're basically going to get number 56 to the outside, 47 to the outside, and one of these guys has to hit the inside. Right? One of these guys has to be able to get to the inside. And I'm not sure exactly how this is being coached, but sometimes as a defensive end, you want to try to spill, or you want to try to get underneath that block. On this one, neither of the guys go underneath the block, and this play ends up picking up 17 yards. I'm not putting this directly on Bryce Huff, but sometimes I do see snaps of Huff where he struggles to disengage off blocks. Guys pull and they make contact with him, and he's not really able to disengage. Right? He's not really able to get around guys. And you get plays like this that pop for big gains. And again, this isn't 100% on Huff. There's obviously 10 other guys on the defensive side. But you'll definitely see plays where you need him to disengage a little bit better. Get off the block. Don't get overwhelmed. by these bigger guards or centers or offensive tackles. On this one here, he's going to end up getting reached. This play is going to pop for 10 yards. You got to do a better job to be able to hold the outside gap. This one, he obviously doesn't do that. And this play popped for 10 yards. So again, it's just the little things that he needs to continue to work on. And I do think that as Huff plays more snaps, and I think that is one of the big things to take away from this video, the guy just doesn't have enough snaps where you can really say that, hey, this guy should already be able to do this or that. Right? The guy played less than 500 snaps this past season, but statistically, he dominated, right? He had a massive season. And it's a part of why the Eagles ultimately ended up paying him a 3-year, $51 million contract. It's because of the upside that Huff may ultimately have. Overall, I really like the Bryce Huff signing. You guys can see on tape, Bryce Huff is a very good football player. He may not be the most explosive player. He may not be the most fundamentally technical player out there. But when you put the tape on, it speaks for itself. Bryce Huff is oftentimes getting in there. He's oftentimes very disruptive. He's pressuring the quarterback. He's making things happen. And I think as he continues to develop, he's going to become a really good football player. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something new. And if you did, consider subscribing. And I will see you guys next time with another video.